Continuing on, because the last video got kind of long. YouTube doesn't like it when they get that long. They get pissed off at me and they make me jump through hoops, and I don't like doing it. So Terumi is very carefully made sure I didn't go over 15. So I told you guys that you could do a mezzanine, and so part of what you've got to start to think about is how that mezzanine might kind of interact with this front space. Think of the mezzanine as a place where you might put a hoist. In section, in the lab, so you have two different things. You've got a lab. Can this see everything I'm doing? So you've got a lab and you've got a office, right? And so that's 10 feet, right? About. How tall are these?
20.
They're 20 feet, correct? So that's about 10 feet. If this is 20, that's 10. And that's 5, right? Yes? And so would you say that it would be safe for me to say that human might be about like that? Is that about right? Did I use a scale? No, I just cut it in half and then cut it in half against it, and a little taller than that. You guys can all do this. You should all be able to use your critical thinking functions to do this. Simple critical thinking functions. Okay, so that's that. And so you might start to think about the fact that, well, maybe that mezzanine is on some sort of a roller and it's set up so that they can hoist the thing back and forth so it's on a track, right? That angle is going to have an impact on this, and so that angle right here goes down this way, and then it angles down like that. Right? And so this is in the background, so it's going to be a light line. Correct? Am I starting to think about the relationship of section to plan to three-dimensional form? Jeremy, can it see all the way over here? I can. Am I doing that? That is architecture. Architecture is an integral process. It cannot be done in isolation. One of the hard tasks that all of you are confronted with is that this requires your mind to think like my wife would say, it makes you think like a woman. You have to be able to multitask. You males can't, this is what she always tells me. You males can't multitask, you're one-minded. But you have to be thinking, when you're doing architecture, you have to be thinking about all this stuff at once. And more. Right? Making sense? Okay. So this mezzanine here might be, set up so that it's got some sort of a functional reason. Maybe there's hoists, maybe there's hoses that have to be brought across, right? What about the mezzanine in here? What might this mezzanine be used for? So I'll put the same scale figure. Okay. What do we got this room? So I'm gonna cut this one. I'm gonna cut this way. Right. So again, I'm thinking in section, and there's a bathroom, so that's going to be in the background. So I'll see like a little bathroom here, right? And there's a stair that goes up to it, so there might be stairs going up, and there might be a railing here or something, right? So what might be the function of that little lock? What did all of you do over the last 3 days? What kind of sleep did you get?
Not much.
Huh?
I dreamt of rhino.
You dreamt of rhino. So several of you pulled all-nighters, right? So maybe you didn't want to pull an all-nighter. Maybe you wanted to get a couple hours of sleep in your research, what you're doing. So this little loft, in the case of the office, right, becomes a area where you might have a bed or something. You've got a bathroom there. You could put the loft over the bathroom, or perhaps the loft, instead of being over the bathroom, is actually crossed over into the front, and maybe that's where you do part of your subtraction. Or maybe you do a two-story subtraction, and the loft pokes out through it. Now, all of these thoughts have an implication to what the plan looks like, correct? right? So in plan, maybe I've got that dashed line going across a part of it, right? And then I've got a loft that maybe is coming up to a portion, and then maybe there's a subtraction here. All of that stuff works together, right? Okay. What I'm going to ask you all to do now is to go back. Let's start with the offices, okay? You all have those little diagrams that I gave you, okay? If you want to, I can print it larger. I don't have to. But I want you to come up with plan sections and axonometric that reflect a design based on the criteria that I'm giving you here.
How many do you want?
We're going to start with one, see if I can get one out of you guys. Okay? Are they going to look very similar between all of you? You're all following the same rules, so you're allowed to have one slant back, and the options there are it can go all the way across, it can go halfway across, it can go a third way across, it can go 2/3 of the way across, it can go 3/4 of the way across, it can go 1/4 of the way across. Those are your options, right? That's what all this is, right? Some of you will have something that slants in, some of you will have something that slants out. You're allowed to do one major subtraction, and let's just say that there are a couple of minor ones. If you can come up with a good functional reason for doing those other subtractions, okay? Don't just do stuff because, hey, I remember the second cube I did in arch 101 didn't have any reason, I just did stuff. Okay? So understand that when you guys are done with this, you're going to have stuff that looks very much the same. Everybody's is going to be unique to the decisions they made, but you're all working within the same parameters. Okay? Is that clear? All right. So we need to collect your homework. I'm going to bring in the folder so you guys can put them in there and write your name lightly on it. Rumi's going to collect them. Right now, go ahead and head back.